So, it has been a while, but I am back to cover the spoilers for the most recent chapter of My Hero Academia. And let's just say that this chapter is going to leave you breathless, very much like Deku, and you'll get to see why that's the case. But first, right after this. Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm back for 2024 to cover more My Hero Academia. Yeah, it's been probably about 3 weeks since I last posted a video, unfortunately. I've been busy, sick, winter and all of that, the holiday, New Year's, all of that junk, but I'm going to be back to cover more My Hero Academia, and what is it not to cover than the most recent chapter spoilers for chapter 412. And for what we get with the spoilers so far, this is going to be a very hyped chapter. It's going to be around 15 pages, and we are not going to be getting a break next week, but what we get in this chapter is something that is going to light the My Hero Academia community ablaze with all of the shocking reveals, the great action, but more importantly, the characterization of Deku. And you'll be able to get all of that from the spoilers and from the text that we are going to be covering right now. So, to start off, the chapter is 412, History's Craziest Heroes, and as this was coming out, it was seen to be as history's greatest hero, but it makes sense for craziest because, you know, Deku is literally the craziest hero that has ever lived, and this is something that has actually been referenced multiple times within the series. And the chapter apparently begins with an x-ray of Deku's arms, showing that he has been using Black Whip on the inside of expanding his muscles. He then goes for another punch using Fajin and the wind pressure. This page is full of flashbacks of him using One for All on his fingers throughout the entire series. He uses a Delaware Smash. Shigaraki laughs and says that Midoriya is pretty clever because destroying the arena itself is a good way of dealing with decay. He then tries to touch the ground again, but notices that the cloud of dust from the previous attack hasn't dissipated yet. Then, many Black Whips come out from the smoke, and Deku comes from above, tearing Shigaraki's arm off with a punch. He used Gear Shift First Gear on Smokescreen to make it dissipate slower, and used Black Whip to make Shigaraki's Danger Sense activate non-stop. Ever since he was hit by Nagin's curved bullet, Deku knows that Danger Sense isn't flawless. He starts charging Fajin, but Shigaraki uses Search to find him and hits him with Black Tendrils. Search reveals the opponent's weakness, and Deku's is that he can't breathe. So, just with this part of the text spoilers, we're showing that there's going to be a lot of action, but not just punches, but we get to see Deku be a lot more strategic with the quirks, using Fajin, Smokescreen, as well as the advantages and disadvantages of Danger Sense against Shigaraki. So it shows that even though he has lost the quirk, the experience that he got from using Danger Sense still resides within him, as well as getting to see how Deku is growing even within the fight itself, and how he's able to apply these quirks in very unique and interesting ways that can benefit him in his fight, as well as using the experiences that he got from his previous fights, specifically Lady Nagin, to really bolster what he's going to be doing in this fight against Tomura. But unfortunately, it's not going to seem to be enough to actually be able to put Tomura down for good, as we're going to get a little bit more into the next parts of the text spoilers. And going into the next part, we have Gear Shift is over, and now he's suffering the recoil. Shigaraki's arm grows back, and he notices that Deku is overdoing it to the point that the Black Whip is now visible even on the outside of his arm, forming black marks all over it. Shigaraki mocks Deku by saying that he has to protect many things, and that makes it difficult for him to focus on just fighting. But Deku says that he won't give up on the boy who is crying. Shigaraki dodges another kick and starts a speech. He says that everyone sees the world through their own lens and always tries to assign meaning to what they don't understand. And that's what Deku is doing. He's trying to unravel Shigaraki while knowing nothing about him. And since One for All and All for One can see through other vestiges, he should know that Tenko is gone. This memory from the past has expanded his worldview and became Tomura Shigaraki. He is no longer suffering. Nana thinks back to when she talked to Izuku and says that he should give up. Some people can't be saved. Shigaraki represents the biggest barrier in the way of Izuku's heroism, and it's fine if he can't overcome it. When he has to do now is land an attack so strong that it instantly kills Shigaraki, but Deku says that's not the solution. If it was that simple, Shigaraki wouldn't remember all the suffering from his past. He then thinks back to what Tomura said in the last war about Hero Society sweeping all the pain under the rug. I won't stop fighting until I've shredded that rug with my own hands. And let's just say that the speech coming from both Deku and Tomura in this moment are just fantastic from what we're getting with the spoilers. We're getting most likely callbacks to the war, as well as just getting more reiteration of ideals that we've seen when it comes to the villains, and how what Tomura Shigaraki is saying in this moment may be very similar to what Uraraka heard when she was fighting against Toga. So this gives a little bit more of a credence to what's potentially going to be the ending of this fight, but we're really getting to see Deku's ideals being pushed to the brink, even to the point of Nana, who supported Deku, telling him to actually give up and just go for the kill. And with the next and the final parts of the text spoilers, we'll really get to see the reasoning behind why Deku is as fervorous and as steadfast in what he's trying to do in this moment. Which is that we then get Kudo, who says that he didn't accept Deku, so he decided to look at his memories. That's when he realized that Midoriya never gave up on anyone. Whenever it's someone he was supposed to hate, like Bakugo, or someone with no quirk, he always wanted to believe in their goodness. Star's arm appears inside the vestige, pointing at something, and All Might and Kudo look in that direction. Kudo then says, "Ninth, listen to me. You have to let go of One for All." The last panel is a flashback to All Might saying that he can become a hero. And the chapter ends. Okay, there is a lot that we need to unpack with this, and I could probably do that in the more review proper, but the idea is that what is going on right now and why Deku doesn't seem to change is that that's just the type of person that he is. He never gives up on his ideals, and he will always try and try and try. Ergo, he's the Deku that always does his best. And that's just the character that he is. And that is just amazing that we get that reiterated in this moment. So, what can we really say about the final part of the text spoilers? Star and Stripe is becoming more prominent in the story, so there's a little bit of irony with that when it came to a specific YouTuber that brought up Star and Stripe as a fumble, and that is being reintroduced now, as well as it was also reintroduced earlier in the series, but hey, that's just me. But yeah, there is a lot that we can talk about in this chapter. But because this is more of the spoilers and I'm just covering the spoilers as they're coming out, I will not be giving my in-depth explanations for what this could possibly mean and what it could possibly mean for the future in the next chapter. You're going to have to wait for my actual review proper to hear my thoughts more coherently. But yeah, that's all I really have to say when it comes to the spoilers for My Hero Academia this week. And let me ask you, what did you think of the spoilers? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? And do you think that this is going to be a fantastic chapter? Also, what do you think of the new setup? I got a new camera over the break. It seems to be a little bit more crisper than usual. We get to see a little bit more of my background. I can move my hands a little bit more. So you can give suggestions on how or whether or not you like this new change, and hopefully maybe I can listen to them and maybe add a little bit more to this background. But hey, the that's all we have to say for the topic right now. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, do all that cool jazz. And hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. And hopefully you had a happy new year. Haven't seen y'all since last year. Catch you guys later. Goodbye!